Who cares about other things? C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me.
Hello, Music Multiverse listeners. Welcome to Beyond Your Radio. This is Panelists Favorite show, but a little different. What are we doing here? Alphabetical, baby. That's right. 2 weeks ago, we did the letter B. We went from Beethoven to Bad Company, from the Beatles to Buckethead, from Bonamassa, said incorrectly, to Bach and beyond. Today is brought to you by the letter C. And C is for cookie, and it was apparently good enough for Paul Cook, who was Cookie. He was the drummer of the punk band Sex Pistols. Janet Ramus, Cookie, she was called. She was the British soul singer. She had that Lola's theme. Cookie McGee was a blues musician from Texas. Cookie Rabinowitz from Philadelphia, known for Four-Eyed Soul. Cookie Marenko was the Grammy-nominated audio producer, engineer, and founder of Blue Coast Records. Jeff Crichton didn't work for them. Charles Cookie Cook, a tap dancer and musical artist who founded the original Copacetic.
Oh.
And then Michael Cook Cookie, an artist, musician, DJ. He met Prince. He actually DJ'd Madonna's wedding. Even lived next door to Denny Hopper. Wow. Right? And of course, what the monster always loved but never shared, the Cookies, an American R&B group from the 1950s and 60s. Probably on Jeff Crichton's list. No.
I'm allowing cookies on this Beyond Your Radio website, by the way.
Don't say nothing.
You're allowed.
Didn't Limp Bizkit almost name a song Cookie? Oh,
Yeah.
no, never mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see how this crumbles with our panelists. He is C major, Jeff Crichton. She was trying to get to the crossroads, but she got caught up in crosstown traffic. Damn, Deb Armitage Hicks Maloney. No one got that one. Damn it.
I did.
He's the Cab Calloway of our program.
I
On
see
vocals, Ray Gasca.
Hey, Caleb.
He used to hang out at the Copacabana until he was banned. Steve Scouten. He always has a constant craving for Mighty Taco, Alex Kalizny.
I actually haven't had it since the new year.
Oh, man, look at you. Oh, he's
You
got
got them all
champagne.
stocked in your freezer at home, right? Actually, no, that's Grandma Mora's.
Oh, yeah.
They started doing frozen burritos. You stuff them in a glass pan, throw it. Yeah, whatever. It's for another day.
He's got champagne problems, just like Taylor Swift. Jeff Young.
Ooh. Hey, in honor of the letter C, I'm sporting my Creeping Death mug tonight.
Oh,
From Metallica.
oh, man. The
Nice.
collection is very impressive.
Yeah.
Damn.
And she's the only one cooler than me. Susie Q.
Oh. Mm.
That's true.
Colder or cooler?
Well,
Yeah.
both right now.
I'm colder right now.
I know. I
I
should have
guarantee
come over
it's
here.
clearer.
Cooler than me. Look it up. Famous song. All right. And yeah, the crosstown traffic. That's Jimi Hendrix. Okay.
Cooler
Yeah.
than me is Mike Posner.
Yes. Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
I knew it. I'm just surprised that I wasn't having Ray pegged down for naming Mike Posner songs.
I'm a
Damn.
think a genius.
That's,
You think you know somebody?
Yeah. Let's start off with Jeff Crichton since he is C major.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, where are we starting? 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We
That
giving
is
out
it.
5.
Just do 5 and we'll go to the next person for 5.
Okay, this was a tough call. Consider I have I only have 20 honorable mentions.
Five.
So not too
Sunday at
bad,
midnight.
and they're all worthy in my world. So I'm trying to decide between the Chipmunks. No, I'm gonna go with my number 5 guy is a legend. He's in the Rock Hall of Fame. He's one of the first innovators of rhythm and blues music as we know it. He was discovered in the 50s by Ahmet Ertegun at Atlantic Records, and just as his career was on the upswing. He goes and makes a classic record, 1962, about
Yep.
rhythm and blues in the country world, right? So who am I speaking of? Brother Ray Charles, number
Yeah.
5.
Nice.
man.
Nice one. Love
Very
it.
good.
No one like Ray Charles, man.
And I got to I was blessed enough to work one of his later records. He did a great cover of Leon Russell's "A Song for You," and we got to work that record at Warner Brothers. So it was an honor.
That's cool.
It was an
Nice.
honor to
That's
work one of
cool.
his records. Yeah. Yep.
Damn.
Well, Ray was on my honorables. So this band, I picked bands that actually were influential to my musical taste, or people, I should say. This band they were pioneers of power pop, blueprint for bands like maybe the Foo Fighters, Green Day. They perfected a blend of Beatlesque sounds with punk. They're satirical, witty, tongue-in-cheek. The lead singer, man of 1,000 voices, multi-neck guitar player in their guitarist, and a master of the 12-string bass. And that songs that they had: Surrender, I Want You to Want Me, Dream Police. So 1978 through 80, my sophomore to senior years, Cheap Trick was one of my favorite bands. And I had to put them on there. So, I mean, even when I hear those songs now, I just feel like I'm 17 years old again. And we all need that in our lives.
I think when they came out with one of their other albums, I was 17 or 18.
Yeah.
Came out, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Young.
Well, the beauty of this show with so many participants is I get to pick favorites, ones that I will always listen to, and I don't have to feel bad that I didn't pick the ones that were actually the best. So
Why I love it too.
I'm going
Exactly.
with I'm going with a family band started by three brothers,
Okay.
Chevelle.
Oh, Chevelle.
So, they're kind of recognized for their heavy riffs and softer melodic vocals. Some people compare the vocals a little bit in the same sense as Tool, but maybe, like if Chevelle would be like, Tool is like Chevelle times 10. You know what I mean? Like they're just
Yes.
better. But, they've had a lot of mainstream success for like 3 decades. And, also they're kind of advocates they're still kind of against the whole record industry because they got bad record deals. So they're trying to, continue to warn people about that, having made no money on their first few albums. That's why they always tour probably. They did have like some number one singles, obviously like Vitamin R and Face of the Floor, Send the Pain Below. But, they're just kind of everywhere. Like they're kind of one of the quote unquote newer bands that, isn't legendary for being around for so long. They're still around now. They still put out good music consistently. And they're just kind of like, they have kind of their own sound, but I don't know. The band I've always liked listening to, I will always listen to them. I assume they'll keep putting out good music. They put a good album out last year. And they've been culturally relevant, having even been from the end of MTV to being on video games and Dawson's Creek and things like that. So,
Yeah.
While again, they're not going to make anyone's top 50 bands of the letter C, that's my 5th favorite.
Alex.
And they're really good live too.
Well, I can confirm they're really good live. I can also confirm I haven't listened to them since my personal relationship with that band has confirmed that the lead singer is one of the biggest assholes I've ever met.
Oh, nice. Well, that's
And
for
I've
another
never
show.
And I've never listened to them since.
Wow.
Just couldn't get past that interaction and how they also treated my cousin when he was their guitar tech.
Yeah,
So
it happens.
Oh,
yeah.
baby.
Wow, so
Fun
that's
fact-
number 5 for you?
Fun fact on Jeff's pick, Ray Charles is also the basis and inspiration behind refereeing in the NFL.
I thought you were going to say he was also an asshole to you too.
No. So my number 5, I probably catch a lot of you off guard that he makes my list, but I'm gonna go with one of the. I can't really name a ton of his songs per se, but he's someone that I'll throw on when I'm in a certain mood. I love listening to the guitar of Eric Clapton.
Oh, yeah.
Clapton's one of those ones that I can pick out a song by sound and having heard it, but if you'd ask me the name of it, couldn't tell you for the life of me. But he's one of those guys that, like I said, it's just a mood. I know when I need to listen to something that he's been a part of, whether it's in solo form or band form. He's one of the better ones that I've heard over the years. A good mesh of styles. So yeah, Clapton at 5.
Okay. Ray.
All right. Well, let me give my epilogue here. I'll just start out saying I found at least 25 acts that deserve consideration, but right from that point, I started chopping. And I'll tell you, I've become more and more interested in listening to those great vocalists from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and less interested in those classic rock acts that have just become too tired over the years. I mean, all these, if you were to put together a legendary list, all these ones that I'm tired of are probably on that list. The epic, the legendary, all the other adjectives, just growing tired. So my thinking here for this, as we go through the alphabets, Steve and I were talking this week about it. My thinking has been more about full libraries. Whose library will I still enjoy to sit and listen to? And surprisingly, it wouldn't be some of those bigger acts that I'm referring to. While I love many of their songs, I'm just tired of most of them and would rather not listen to their library. So I'm going to go in a different direction. While I'll save the honorable mentions, I'll say that the big acts that I'm not including because I'm tired of them include Phil Collins, Chicago, Elvis Costello, Cream, The Clash. Not on this list. I'll leave those to you along with the wild cards from Mark and Alex. And
So you're going with the hit catalog. You're going with the hit catalog versus the hit songs or albums.
Yeah, I'm just kind of going with the catalog that I can sit and just listen to, okay? And I'm going to get kind of corny to start here. Vocalist.
Surprise.
Vocalist and a couple legends in my top 5. It's all about me. So number 5, I told my wife Jennifer she'd get a bit of an influence here. Their catalog's unmistakable. Their catalog is virtually nothing but sing-alongs. In the 70s, you wouldn't be considered cool, and still probably not cool in Scout or Crichton's eyes. You wouldn't be included cool. But if you were a fan, but I enjoy experiencing yesterday once more. When on a rainy day and a Monday, I can sing a song. When I do feel that, I'm on top of the world. Hey, you know that I've only just begun here. For all we know, and I cannot say goodbye to love. I guess I'm not cool.
Stop, Dad.
Not cool, for the guys because I like Barry and Air Supply either. Sadly, we said goodbye to one of the sweetest sounding voices of all time on this very day in 1983. Karen, we miss you. She and Brother Richard are the Carpenters.
Oh, wow, that was very clever.
Yes,
you win. You win the
Definitely
cleverness.
went all out, and that's number 5, man. I almost want you just to go to number 1 and get it over with. And that.
There was such a good build up to that, but I was almost lost by the fact you dissed the Clash on me.
Yeah.
What is wrong with the Casbah, baby?
No.
Come on.
Yeah, that's the least song I want to hear.
Oh, that was somebody I could open with. Darn it. All right. Susie, Hugh.
This was so hard, but my number 5, and again, I have no build up. I love following Ray. It's great. I'm just going with Crazy Horse. I probably, an unexpected pick maybe. I don't know. But Mark, we used to listen to them all the time. And I was just trying to think of bands and artists that I've seen and came to appreciate. I didn't necessarily appreciate them to begin with, but I would definitely sit down with any album and listen to it. And so number 5. And did I paint a picture of one of their album covers for you?
Yes, you did.
Years ago. Okay.
It's actually talked about in Year of the Horse, Unknown Sunday.
Okay.
Nice. That's cool.
I was trying to find, I couldn't remember which one it was. And I'm like,
It's one of the inside album pictures. with the running of the horse. Yeah,
Cool.
it's nostalgic to
Oh.
the Crazy Horse.
Aw, that's sweet.
Yeah, good pick. Good pick.
Awesome.
Was on my list. Didn't make it because I associated more with Neil Young. So
Yes.
Right.
But they had their own catalog, and those
Yeah,
albums
they
are really
did.
good. It's
Mhm.
just those are almost like the deep cuts of why he has them, right? It's kind of
Mhm.
although oh my gosh, the other guy his solo records are good too. I don't know why I can't think.
Nils
I can think-
Lofgren?
Yeah. Yeah. I was going Tenant. I don't know why I couldn't do. Okay, I'm getting old. Steve.
How do I out epilogue Ray? Well,
Don't even try.
you can talk about the seas with songs and artists and bands and record companies like Chess and Capitol and Columbia, or regions of the world like the Caribbean with Calypso, or Cuba with jazz, or Colombia with Latin fusion. Or cities like Chicago with blues and jazz, or Compton with rap, or Cleveland with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or Columbus with indie music, or Calgary with Canadian indie music. So that's how I epilogue Ray. My
Nice.
number 5, and this goes right in the face of Ray, is a band that was termed the only band that matters when they came out in London in 1976 and set the tone for punk music.
Yeah.
From 76 to 86, Joe Strummer owned punk music.
Amen, brother.
Combat Rock, London Calling. They did it all, and they are the Clash. Sorry, Ray.
No, that's a great band.
Nice.
Honorable
I knew
mention
there
for
was-
me.
So he's a Lincoln lawyer, but anyways.
I had multiplicity of problems with C. There are artists that are very talented, and their catalog, I don't know a lot of it. Ray Charles would be one of them.
Oh, really?
No, I don't. I might have
I
a
do.
couple of records here. I don't. John Coltrane. I know Love Supreme, but a couple of others here and there. Mine are the ones I gravitate to, the ones that that are marked. They have this timetable, they have this signature, and the honorable mentions do too for that reason too. So my number 5, and the voice is mandatory for all. The tightness of the band and their articulation of sound, being able to have moved in nearly 4 different decades of and eras of music, survive a horrendous on-stage breakup, and come out with a banger after banger after banger, solo or not solo, but singles that always hit radio. The minute it was on, you knew who it was. There's not a bad album actually in the catalog, but it's hard to say which album is better than another unless what time you came into this band.
Okay.
And it's male or female, it doesn't matter. And that's another hard thing to pull off in the genre that they're in. That's the Cult.
Yep. They're on my list too.
I didn't have that appreciation until I was not Sonic Temple. I came in at the Cult, that record, which was more the alternative record. But the other one, those are heavy rock records, and then you've got Ceremony. I can't even remember the name of the record now.
Ceremony's correct.
Yeah, that's a different record completely.
Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah. So,
we worked a bunch of the Cult records, but yeah, love that record's brilliant.
How were they to work with?
They were fine.
They just couldn't work with each other at that.
Yeah, no, they were good. They were good.
Mark, do you remember we were walking to the Armory when we discovered there was no show because they broke the band up and thought we didn't get to see them? And then a decade later, finally they go back together, and I get to see them a couple times.
You were walking.
We're literally walking to what?
That's called bad luck.
Well, they
You
were
know,
in town ballroom,
post their
right?
post
No,
their
that's where
prime.
the show was redone at the Town Ballroom. The original was supposed to be at the Armory.
Yeah, yeah.
Post their prime, I got to see them when they played in Lockport, and I was very, very surprised how much I liked them in person.
Yeah, my friend Kevin won the autographed guitar at that show.
Ah,
They were
That's awesome.
they were really damn good. I liked them
seen
a
them
lot.
twice. They were good. Well done. Okay, back to Jeff.
All right, my
Pride.
number. Wait a minute. Let me get in a proper voice here for my
Uh-oh.
number
This is
4.
gonna take.
You know, when I was trying to decide on number 4, I was towing the line. I went around a ring of fire, and I was almost going to call a gal named Sue. See what she thought. But then I thought, you know, I can decide on my own because Delia's gone. Gone. And so my number 4, I choose the man in black, Mr. Johnny Cash.
Very nice.
All clap.
Yeah, good one.
Ah, this is
Ah.
just so good. We could do this all night long. Damn.
It will be all night long. All right. Well, this band is not going to be on anybody's list. Honorable mention, no. But it's a band that I was introduced to in the late, like, first decade of the 2000s, maybe 2010, because I was
Chumbawamba.
given, yeah, um, they're on a car mix that my daughter
Thinking it
made
too.
for me. They kind of blend Celtic inspired music with indie rock. They use a mandolin, a tin whistle, a banjo. Their storytelling, unique phrasing. Their songs on their albums are very thought provoking, but unique in the storytelling. You have to really, it's like they're singing a poem every song that they sing. And that's Carbon Leaf. They're out of Richmond, Virginia. I think I mentioned them on a You Should Listen To at one point. Went and saw them at Ironworks in 2025. They were amazing live. It was such a good show. Life Less Ordinary. What About Everything? Those songs. I mean, just you gotta if you've never listened to them, you should listen to Carbon Leaf. So that's my number 4.
That's a cool pick.
Mr. Young.
Yeah, you know them, right, Alex?
Mhm.
Oh, let's see.
Was not expecting him today though.
No? Okay, well, I love them.
I'm gonna go with go with an English band, Catherine Wheel.
Nice.
They signed their first record deal after just one gig in Norwich. Thought that was cool. So their album Ferment is actually considered kind of a milestone album in the shoegaze area. Does everyone know what the shoegaze even means?
Yes.
I've heard of it. I can't remember.
So it's like because of the sound of that style, they use a lot of foot pedals, and so it's coined from the performers on stage always looking down at their shoes, having to like play their instruments. So,
That's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, they
Thanks
got
for that.
more of an aggressive alternative or melodic approach with Chrome, and then once they got more to like Happy Days, that album was the first one I really liked. That kind of like transitioned their popularity from Europe more to getting more popular in the US or North America, let's say. And then even like Interpol and Death Cab for Cutie, they credit Chrome, that album, saying that if they had never heard that album, like they might not exist. That was how influential it was to them.
Wow.
But never having really achieved real mainstream commercial success, I think they're just as good as any other mainstream band. Um, there's certainly like quasi cult, following. I guess you could say that about any band that people like, but they do have that one, the 7-minute track, Black Metallic. It's kind of often on one of the lists of the best '90s songs, but they're just a really good. The vocals are very good. The music's great. I've seen them at Shays and a couple other places, and they're just a great band. They're not around anymore, but Catherine Wheel's got a lot of great music. If you've not
Good
heard
band.
them.
Good band.
Rob Dickinson
Thanks.
is a fantastic singer.
Yeah,
Songwriter,
he has a shop that he reconditions Porsches now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jerk.
wow.
He has a solo record, Fresh Wine for the Horses. It's a fantastic recording.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
I've probably spoken about it. And Jeff and I did the Catherine Wheel catalog review show. You can catch that if you look back in time. Alex.
Okay.
That is one area I've never dove down in the music multiverse.
Time to go.
Grab the wheel and go.
Dryden, I absolutely love the Cash pick there. That was in my honorables. Someone I enjoy, but not quite enough to make a top 5. In fact, my number 4. Now, right, you got the monologues down. I got props.
Oh, props.
And I know imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Anyway.
Oh, you got props. Oh, no.
But my number 4 doesn't believe in shoes.
Allow me to give you props on your props.
My number 4 is a genre that makes Mark's head turn. Actually, not just turn, it makes it want to just explode.
Like The
but he
Exorcist.
survived decades of making good music. He has a great stadium show that has lasted for many, many summers. I'm going to go with Kenny Chesney. The No Shoes Nation has not failed in all of the time that he has been a part of the music, of country music. He has found ways to not sell out, but just be what I think is the new Jimmy Buffett.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Island country.
He has picked up where he has left off.
Island country.
That's
Wow.
he has.
He has a house in St. John, Virgin Islands. Yeah, he loves the islands. Yeah, and his country. There you go.
And you know what? Ray said another good point there too. Zach Brown is another one that you can. I always like to genre patio music.
Me too.
And I think that it goes hand in hand with what I call this, what you guys coined as island country. I think the two go hand in hand of where you can enjoy a nice pina colada on your back porch that you just freshly stained 2 weeks ago in your Adirondack chair that's falling apart.
I'm there.
And
I'm there.
So I can't run down that catalog. It's very extensive. It's very long, but I guarantee you if you just played it on Spotify, the hits to the lesser knowns and the deep cuts, you could just easy listen for a solid hour and get lost in it.
Probably get your boots back, your car, everything else.
Right.
Steve, did you have that on your bingo card?
Kenny Chesney or a stained deck? Both.
Ray.
Yes, sir.
You can go.
So another 70s star that wasn't around long enough to really see where he was going to go, but his limited output put him amongst the better singer-songwriters of the day. His guitar playing and his delivery were pretty special. He had a handful of songs that were hits, but I had a chance to go through and listen to the full albums in his library, and there are some real gems that the majority of the public probably never heard, and in this, listen to a clip world that we live in, he has largely been forgotten about. However, this guy right here, meaning me, is looking to give him the props that he deserves in my top 5. Yesterday was the anniversary of one plane crash, the day the music died, But 53 years ago in September, this guy was also killed in a plane crash. I really love listening to him play, tell his stories, and sing. His name is James Joseph Croce, also
Great
known as Jim Croce.
That's such a
He's
good
a
one.
bad, bad
Yeah.
mofo.
It's funny that you guys
Yes.
were just talking about Jimmy Buffett. Because
Yeah.
of Croce's death, Buffett got a contract.
Oh,
Really? I didn't know this story.
interesting.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, they were
Kinda
looking
like-
Wow, that's a
for,
good
and
choice.
he was on the back list because they were looking for another something like that, a guitar play, and he was back there. And then when Croce died, they gave him his shot, and he took it.
It's almost like Waylon Jennings getting the boot off of the plane.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Good pick, excellent catalog, and it very true.
Dang.
Probably one of the most like gifted songwriters that like I don't understand why people don't talk about stuff beyond that which was popular because
Yeah.
everything's a killer.
Yeah.
Everything on
The
those
albums
records.
were
That's a
really
guy
good.
they need to make a movie about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be so interesting. You're right. Let's do it.
All right. Sue.
Me? Me. So number 4, this is just like a complete personal pick. Never saw them, but love their sound, love their music. It takes me right back. And I'm going with Crowded House.
Oh.
Oh, Crowded House. Good
Yeah.
one.
I don't know what it is
I
about.
kind of thought you'd pick
Yeah.
that.
Good one.
Yeah, I love it.
Great vocals. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't thought about them in a long time.
Finn, right?
Yeah, the Finn brothers.
Neil, yeah.
Yep.
It ends.
Yep.
Sound of an era.
For sure.
Steve, did
I'll
you
leave Ray
did it have
alone
more
because
build up?
I'll leave Ray alone because as Jim Croce said, you don't tug on Superman's cape.
Mhm.
My number 4 has already been said.
Oh no.
Yes. I'm not going to dig into the depths and pick out, others from my list. I'm going to go with this guy because I think in the grand scheme of things, you do not shy away from the proprietor from Joliet, Illinois of Ray's Music Emporium, the father of soul, every type of music. I mean, gospel music. He did it all. Gospel, country. I mean,
Yep.
let's be honest. I Can't Stop Loving You is a country song.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Blew everybody away.
Georgia on My Mind. What
Pepsi
I Say, Hit the Road Jack. I mean, he
Pepsi
lost
commercial.
He lost his sight at 7. Yeah, Brother Ray Charles for me. Easy
Great
pick.
movie too, and
Yeah. Yeah.
and he found a new audience after he did that Pepsi commercial.
Yep.
He did that duet on with Billy Joel too, if you remember, on that
Yes.
86 album Baby Grand. That was pretty
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Ray Charles does a
Yeah.
Pepsi commercial, comes out fine. Michael Jackson does a Pepsi commercial, doesn't come out so well.
Right.
Oh, no.
I didn't know the Ray Charles Pepsi commercial.
No.
Oh yeah.
Or sorry, I knew the commercial. I didn't know the effect of it.
Okay.
And you know who was in one,
Yeah, he got blinded.
one of Ray Charles' earliest bands was Quincy Jones.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
That makes sense. All right. My band is Riff and Fuzz. They from that world. I didn't know them, didn't appreciate them until, I don't know, a few years ago. They are the top of Maryland's food chain. They are crop circles. They take themselves seriously. Then they don't take themselves seriously. But every time you hear them, it's on. There's heavy riff, blues, fantastic groove, and a vocalist who can carry not only above it, but beyond it. And because it has a crushing and it has a pace. There's entertaining songs. They're not meant to be overly burdened. And live, they are incredible. And even in picking their opening acts for their fans and fans of, they are very careful in what they do. And that is Clutch.
Clutch.
Out of Maryland. And heavy riff, rock, heavy blues, and a vocalist who just tears it up and has a good time. Maybe it's just a little bit underscored from Henry Rollins a bit, but no
Okay.
growling vocals, but just he's hitting it. And that's my number 4, and that pushed out Jerry Cantrell. Who, you could say Alice in Chains, I love Boogie Depot and the two records two together. Degeneration? No, that's not it. Boy, oh boy, can't think of them. Degradation Trips 1 and 2, which are fantastic, but they're very dark records, and that's what Jerry Cantrell's great at. But I pushed him out because I just clutches very groove. It's in the same wheelhouse, really. They may even cite him, but so back to Jeff
you mentioned them a few times. Yeah. Back
to Jeff Crichton.
When I first heard my number 3 band, and there were 3 artists, it made the hair in the back of my neck stand up.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, because I had never, ever heard anything like it before. And it was just amazing. I thought, like, okay, am I hearing maybe the best rhythm section that's out there right now? The guitar from the scream of the Gibson Les Paul, and the solos and the vocals and the blues, and just the edge of this band. Just to this day, one of my all-time favorite bands. They were short-lived. They were only around for a couple of years, but they left their mark. And Cream is my number 3 band under the seas. When Clapton switched from the Gibson Les Paul to the Strat, it changed his sound completely. And he was still good, still great. But I liked his sound more when he was playing the Gibson more than the Strat. And Jack Bruce, one of the great voices of his generation, and nobody played the Skins like Ginger Baker until John Bonham came along. So there you go. Cream is my number 3.
I had a weird hunch he was going to land on your top 5, or they were. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely.
Why wouldn't they?
That's right. Why wouldn't they?
Well, this is a very subjective show.
That's true.
Subjective, objective, rejected.
And there gives my at least Clapton's on the list.
Correct.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah.
I debated whether I was going to put the 2 together, but I listen to more Clapton work total than I do just straight.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a bigger. It's bigger, more.
Go ahead, Dan.
Oh, it's my turn. All right. So this is another band that was influential to me in my high school years. They were new wave, kind of. MTV did a service to them because their videos were you'll hear a song now by them and you will think of their video. I just challenge you to not. Their first album was
right now, and I don't, and I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
you just know me so well. Their first album is coined as their greatest hits album because every single song was amazing, a hit. They're from Boston, Massachusetts. Songs like "Just What I Needed," "My Best Friend's Girl," "Good Time," "Let the Good Times Roll," "Candy O," that's the Cars out of Boston, Massachusetts. I think that they're timeless in their sound. To me, they are anyway. I don't know if it's because of how nostalgic they are, but I think that when you hear their songs, they still feel relevant to me. So that's the Cars for me, number 3.
What's the name of that band?
The Cars.
The Cars.
The Cars.
baby.
The Cars.
That would have been great if you were their publicist or manager and they say, "What do you do for a living?" "Oh, I'm a car salesman."
There you go.
There's jokes and then there's next level jokes, and that's a next level.
That can be edited out. Don't worry.
I won't edit. Jeff Young, I think you're next. I'm struggling with the order now, but
It is Jeff Young.
Yes, it's Jeff.
Well, I'm going with Cinderella.
Nice.
Nice.
So
Of course
this-
you are.
this often, like, I agree when people say they're like an underrated band of the 80s, kind of, unfairly labeled as a hair band, because I think they're way more than your typical hair band from the 80s. I mean, when you look at even some of their later albums, which are more classic rock bluesy, a little more to their lyrics, when you look at like Heartbreak Station, Long Cold Winter. But what's funny is this band was originally first discovered by Gene Simmons, but he was unsuccessful in getting a deal with Polygram Records. And then the next person to quote unquote discover them was Bon Jovi, and he was able to get them a record deal with Mercury. But interesting enough too, like Tom Kiefer's voice is his own; it's unique in the industry. You've got that raspiness, but he actually had what they told him were going to be career-ending vocal cord paralysis, but he has survived that.
Wow.
And yeah, you see their old videos. They do have the glam hair makeup thing, which is today looking a little bit tired, but if you close your eyes, it still sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And they're actually coming here to Lakeland, so in the summer. So I'm hoping to go see them again. I've seen them once before, but the biggest hits are "Don't Know What You Got," "Till It's Gone," "Nobody's Fool," "Gypsy Road." They have a good number of hits, but so I picked Cinderella.
That's
when I
so
was a
you,
kid-
Jeff. I love it.
When I was a kid, Cinderella had a middle name. It was Cinder Blank Rella for all my buddies. They never called it, "Let's go listen to Cinder, you know what, Rella." It's never
That's funny.
Cinderella, because everybody loved them. Everybody I knew loved Cinderella.
Cinder Spankin'Rella, is that what it was?
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
that's
close. Pretty close.
Cinder intercoursing Rella. Okay.
Correct.
Alex, let's see if you can follow that.
Jeff's list is throwing me off, man. Younger on something right now with what I was never expecting to make it for him. I'm gonna take the glass slipper off. I'm gonna put the boots back on.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right.
One of the most universally loved artists of the genre. Very relatable personal lyrics to great storytelling lyrics, depending on which direction he was going. I find it from a very authentic place of not always being in the conventional, maybe at the start of his career a little more so, but definitely has gotten away from that. Has found ways to mix his style up with Southern rock a little bit at times, but has found ways to strip it down a little bit. But for that, I go with my number 3 is Eric Church. One of the better country artists from the standpoint of having a direction with each individual track and then finding ways to mold that set list for an album. He's one that honestly, I think to this day, nostalgically, was the first country song I ever heard. When I got into my mass country phase, I remember like obviously I grew up on Brooks and Dunn, Alan Jackson, and some of those artists. But I remember I had pretty much had country music out of my life for the better part of a half, maybe a full decade. Which Mark goes, now I know where it went wrong.
Yeah, somebody should have stopped that immediately.
But I started a trend in my dorm room in college in my freshman year where I had to go to sleep to country music. And I remember as I was getting into that, because it always just worked with my studying too, just to have in the background. And the first time I ever streamed WYRK from my dorm room on my laptop It was Eric
You got kicked out.
Was Eric Church's Drink in My Hand was the song that was the first one. And I still remember the second one was Jared Neiman. But to this day, Eric Church has always kind of had a little bit of nostalgia to me because it was the first one I remember from the exact moment I decided that was going to be my way to kind of mellow out and get studying.
All right.
Storyteller. Yeah.
So if the
Good
boot
one.
fits, Ray Geska.
Oh, no.
All righty then. Well, I was kind of hoping that he hadn't come up yet, but what are you going to do? I'll tell you, the kids of today are going to be left wanting in another 30 years or less when they look back on the first years of the century and are tempted to call these oldies. What will there be to longingly look back on? I have to be the get off my lawn guy, but it's kind of how I'm feeling. Nothing matches the vocalists of the 40s to the 70s. Just beautiful melodies, vocals, arrangements, rhythms, just beautiful songs. In the 50s, there were two guys that were unmistakably like the leaders of soul music and influenced so many others through the generations. The one I'm going to leave as my main honorable mention, but this guy set the stage for so many to follow. His voice was unmistakable, regarded as one of the most iconic and influential musicians of the 20th century, and was often referred to by contemporaries as the genius. He combined elements of jazz, blues, R&B, and gospel into his music, and would go on to play a pretty big part in the integration of country into the pop genre. Frank Sinatra called him the only true genius in show business. His 2002 biopic with Jamie Foxx, his star, was one of the best biopics ever. He prefers to be referred to by his friends and musicians as Brother Ray. It's not Ray Geska.
Like you.
Ray Charles Robinson. Yeah. Just incredible.
The other Brother Ray.
The other Brother
The other
Ray.
Brother Ray.
Yeah. Just fantastic. Yeah. And one of the lesser known songs that I've really been digging lately from the Blues Brothers soundtrack, Shake Your Tail Feather.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Shake Your Tail Feather. Mm-hmm.
No, not Nelly, Dad.
I know. I know. I got a story about that. We'll catch up with me later, okay?
And Alex, I'm just kind of glad you've been going in a different direction than thrash and rap. So way to go.
Sue.
I have more flavor. It's just what the letter delivers me.
I like it.
All right. This next one was not on my radar until I just started reading through and looking through all the C's. And then I thought, how can I not pick her? Because she really was kind of a big deal.
I was wondering when you were going to pick a lady.
Right. Well,
I already know who it is just off of that alone.
You don't know.
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's go. Let's see.
Hold on.
I'll bet you $5.
I'm going to write it down too.
Alice Cooper.
I just wrote it down. Hold on.
You wrote it down? All right.
I wrote it down too.
Wow, I have a lot of pressure now.
I'm going to write it down too.
No, the pressure's on us.
Anyway, she's, in my opinion, she's very unique. I think she influenced, say, Madonna. I think she's gone through all the decades and actress as well. Did some wonderful duets with Peter Cetera, which I was thinking about Chicago, but especially after Ray's introduction, I won't pick Chicago, but I am going to pick Cher.
Cher.
Stop.
Cher.
Awesome.
I'm not gonna flip.
She's on my honorables, that's why.
All right. But
I can't flip mine.
I think she gets forgotten often. And
yeah.
I don't know. I just like her because she was so different and she was just herself and did her thing and didn't care and still doesn't care. So
iconic.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of became a joke to people, which makes me sad because I wanted to be just like her, but I was a little chubby blonde Irish girl watching the Sonny and Cher show. I wasn't going to be Cher, was I?
I was honored to work.
Thought he was going to say he wanted to be Cher too, and I didn't have that on my bingo.
Oh, he did. He's just not talking about it now.
Show.
Yeah, I was honored to work her Believe record.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh! Are you kidding?
and
That's crazy.
she wound up doing a couple radio shows to tracks, surprisingly, for an artist of her stature. And so I got to hang with her here in Buffalo, and then we hung out in Pittsburgh for a couple days, and before she did a radio show there too. So
There's a movie in there.
there's no movie, but
It's called
I'm
Moonstruck.
it.
she was very nice.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
cool.
I like that. I like that. That's a
Yeah.
great story.
It was cool.
Although
You
now
know.
I feel like an idiot because my guest for Sue's was going to be Sheryl Crow.
Oh, well, you know, I had thought about
I got the
her.
share part right.
There's still time.
No,
Yeah.
there's no time. There'll be no time.
I had
She
the
didn't
wrong
make the list,
share.
though.
It was just Sheryl. Oh,
Although I know Sue's number one, but anyways.
Good guess though.
Steve.
Yeah, it is.
I always mention my bingo card, and Alex, I didn't think my hometown of Watkins Glen, New York, would make the bingo card. Yeah. My number 3. So for the Clash, I went with maybe the most influential punk band, and with Ray Charles, I picked, the father of soul. So why not pick the band that is synonymous as the rock and roll band with horns? That was this band, formed in 1967, the Chicago Transit Authority. They put out a litany of music. Their mission was to be the rock and roll band with horns, rock, jazz, soul, pop, they did it all. They were jazz rock innovators and they were pop ballad engineers. More than 100 million records sold, says it all. Chicago, my solid number 3.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Another band I got to work with.
I didn't really listen to them until their like ballad era, I guess. And I didn't even know how far back they went. And yeah, they're an awesome
Oh, they
band.
were a great rock band, those first 3 albums.
Yeah, those first 3 albums are great. And once Terry Kath died, they
Right.
weren't the same band.
Right.
High school dance anthems.
Yes.
Mhm.
My number 3 rests in a smoky club. When you hear that it's a blues reckoning that you won't expect. It can be so subtle. It can be like a wispiness, or it can be heavy. It can be kind of angular. It can be even electronified, moody, murky. But the voice of a sister who wasn't even supposed to be in the band. Margot Timmons, Cowboy Junkies, will always be in my top 5. I still believe that will be one of those bands look back in Canadian history as to what did I miss? I missed a lot.
Mhm.
They have a wicked catalog that does not have just Trinity sessions. It is a lot more than that. They go to heavy blues, alternative rock. Her brother is a magnificent guitar manifesto who can add electronic to it, and it changes everything. They have multiplicity of records, and 2 years ago had one that made our top lists of the albums of the year, and this is decades later. And my wife and I finally, we saw them at Thursday in the Square a while back, but we finally got to see them at Jackson Triggs, and it poured rain. All right. No one moved. No one left. And even Margot Timmons says, I can't believe you're still here. I would have left. But that's what you do when a singer like that and a band like that is doing their thing. Jeff Crichton.
Maybe one of the best cover songs ever, their cover of Sweet Jane by the Velvet Underground.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, my number 2. When these 3 guys were hanging out at Mama Cass's house in Laurel Canyon in 1968, at the end of 68. And the first song they sang was You Don't Have to Cry. And when Crosby and Nash did the harmonies, Stills asked them to sing it again. And that's where magic began. And their first album, their eponymous first album that came out in May of '69, was as perfect debut album as possibly could be. Stills played every instrument on that record outside the drums, and Crosby and Nash led their sweet harmonies and their songs. And there's so many great songs on that album, from Sweet Jane Blue Eyes to Marrakesh Express, which Nash brought to CSN because the Hollies turned it down, and Wooden Ships, and You Don't Have to Cry. And then when they were going to go out to perform live, the three of them decided they needed another guitar player. So Stills called his old partner Neil and asked him to tour with them, and they did their debut at Woodstock, where Stills said, we're new, we're scared shitless. And then they wound up making almost as good of a second record with Deja Vu with Neil aboard. And they've gone back and forth. Their '77 CSN album was another great record, and then after that, their albums were pretty spotty. There'd be some good stuff on there. The two albums they did with Neil, to me, weren't very good. I think Neil was saving his best stuff for his own records. But nonetheless, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and sometimes with Neil, is my number two.
Nice.
Solid.
Deb.
All right. Well, me. I was a band nerd, so it was really exciting when you'd go into a new semester and your band conductor would say, "We're going to play some current music." And this band, they've been mentioned already, but they introduced horns into rock and roll. So when we got to play anything from Chicago, I just love them, other than playing, John Philip Sousa crap and all of that stuff. So Chicago was always a very influential and nostalgic band for me. I did read that Jimi Hendrix's favorite guitar player was Terry Kath. And did you know that they changed their name to Chicago Transit Authority when they went out to Los Angeles, but they had to change it back because the real Chicago Transit Authority was going to sue them?
True.
I just learned that. I didn't know. I knew you guys would know it, but I thought I'd throw that out there. So, and If You Leave Me Now, I remember dancing to that with my first boyfriend in middle school at our 8th grade dance. So I had to pick Chicago, even though, they're, they're not something that somebody like Alex would know.
Ooh.
Was that a challenge?
I don't know.
Oh, man, we can do that one of these times. Jeff Young, you're next, right?
Well, I would love to just skip to my number one pick so that I can be the first to mention the artist, but I'll keep it in its place. I'll let somebody else have that privilege. And I'll go with another one that someone's already mentioned. So I'm going with The Cult, led by iconic vocals of Ian Astbury and iconic, unique guitar sound of Billy Duffy. So they kind of evolved, I guess you'd say, successfully from the gothic rock to the anthem hard rock, because when you look at their original albums, they were originally called Southern Death Cult, and then Death Cult, and then finally Cult. Basically going from albums like Dreamtime to your typical your big 80s and 90s, Love, Electric, Sonic Temple, huge anthems like She Sells Sanctuary, Firewoman Rain. They've got some different guitar effects and pretty high energy performances. They just great alternative rock band. I mean, they're kind of similar to U2 in that they were going against the at that time, you were seeing a lot of synthesizers introduced, and they were staying away from that. Kind of keeping it more raw rock with energy. So, but yeah, I mean, the Landmark albums again, Love, Electric, Sonic Temple, 85, 87, 89, just freaking awesome, man.
Freaking awesome.
Awesome. Speaking of freaking awesome, Alex.
Wow, that's the greatest compliment anyone's ever given me. Ian Astbury also had a good feature on one of Slash's solo songs, Ghost.
That's right.
His vocals sounded really, really good in that.
And on that Doors tribute album, he was pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good point. Further reminder on that. I want to look that album up. And I forget that we talked about that.
There are a lot of great performers on that record.
Okay, so this 2 was close to being 1. This show, it's both my sacrifice and my own prison.
Yes!
I knew you were picking this. I knew it.
I give you with arms wide open.
It's got to be killing you to make this your number 1.
Stop it. Stop it.
I forgot about them.
Do it.
Oh, yeah.
This is the
The whole
band.
new
Right.
generation's loving them, man.
The greatest
bigger selling
halftime show
band.
in football history, and it wasn't even the Super Bowl. It was a Thanksgiving game in 1997. I'd give you Creed.
Yes.
Oh.
And forever discrediting any opinion I ever have on music ever again.
Still the number
Christopher-
1 band.
Oh my God. It's crazy.
It sold more records than anyone.
Christopher goes,
from
who does
that
this
era
guy
on.
think
Not-
he
not-
is?
not
My
even
sons
close.
are so
Not
into them.
Nirvana, not Foo Fighters, nobody.
Saw them at the little the Fun House in Lackawanna,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw
the
him.
Fun
It was Sterling
House.
Lake, man. One of the
and it
best
wasn't
hard
even
rock
that
shows
big
I ever saw.
second area. It was like just the tiny little part, like little bar area.
Yeah.
Near the bathroom.
Pretty much.
They highlighted the very last rock concert at the Odd.
Really?
Interesting.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
They didn't even have to
Alex.
have them on
That's a
98,
good pick. There's nothing wrong with that.
97.
96. Last show at the Odd.
Speaking of nothing wrong with that, let's go to Ray.
All right. Number 2. Well, like I've talked about, I've really been enamored with the vocalists of the, 40s through the 70s, but I still bleed the blues, man. And my next 2 choices are all about the blues. I talked about these guys when we did the top albums of 1968. They had too short of a time together, but they put out 6 outstanding albums. I'll tell you, as a DJ for an oldie station for a long time, I had long tired of hearing them over and over and over again. The same 6 to 8 songs probably were in the playlist every single night. But as I got older, and definitely over the past couple of years, I listened to full albums of theirs, and that was such a great move. Move the hits aside and get into the deep bluesy album tracks, and you truly get carried away. Here's a band from California who sounded like they were rising out of the swamp in deep Louisiana. They started with names like The Vision and the Gollywogs, but the band wanted their own name. Some rejected contenders for the band's name included Muddy Rabbit, Gossamer Wump, and Creedence Newball and the Ruby. The last one, that was the starting point, though, from which the band derived its final name. The hits are endless. The deep tracks are incredible. Stu Cook, one of the members, described their name as weirder than Buffalo Springfield or Jefferson Airplane. The band, ladies and gentlemen, is Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yes, brother.
Yes,
2
you
C's
go.
in there.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
I'm telling you, there's no voice like Fogerty's, man.
I know.
True that.
It's one of the most distinctive vocals to pick out a band and be able to refer it.
And he's still performing.
Yeah.
Here you go. There's your oldies, ladies and gentlemen. Like I talked about.
96.1.
One Direction and Drake.
And Drake.
Wasn't
Hey,
that
we'll
it?
be
Wasn't that when you heard like one of your favorite songs wind up on Joy? It was like, oh no.
well,
You feel
once
like, oh no.
97 Rock started playing the Tragically Hip. That's the moment when I went,
I remember it wasn't even that long. Svengali, a metal band, had a song on Joy. I'm like, God, and I tried to trying to tell everybody in the record store, no, don't buy the album, just get the single. Yeah, that's
It's like when you're in the grocery store and you hear like "Welcome to the Jungle" come on, you're like, yes, oh, son of a bitch. I'm in the grocery store. I'm an old target audience now.
Sue, go ahead.
Okay. I feel like I say her on a lot of lists, but she deserves to be here. So Tracy Chapman.
Oh, good
I
one.
mean, her debut album was sensational and everything afterward, really. Um, I'm just glad she made it into the world of music and was able to be heard because she's got an incredible voice too. Speaking of voices, so that's my pick. Someone else I wish I would have been able to see. I don't know.
I
She's
saw her
cool.
with Sting at
Oh,
Darien Lake. It
that's
was
perfect.
amazing. It
Way to
was
rub it
amazing.
in.
Yeah.
That's okay, but I have to hear how everybody worked with who and what and kiss somebody's face and, ate Christmas dinner with them.
hey, I still thought it was going to be Sheryl Crow. Instead, I got a fast car.
There's one more C to go. One more C to go.
Or Steve, sorry.
Steve.
Steve, yeah.
You might as well have said Ray because I'm saying the same thing as Ray from El Cerrito, California. The rock band CCR, who Ray covered everything except one thing. My number 4 guy, Ray Charles, sang the song, and he didn't even do it originally. Nighttime is the right time.
Yeah.
And if you hear Creedence Clearwater's version of Nighttime is the Right Time, give it a listen because it is phenomenal.
So
Yep.
it is on the Cosby Show too.
Yeah.
And on the Cosby Show.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. Mark, I throw it back to you.
Man, you've been
So,
hanging around
yeah,
way too long.
My guy could have been easily number one. It was kind of thought about, and I know my number one's going to be fairly predictable.
Yeah.
Chopin.
That'll be the first one.
Chopin.
So the minute I heard this guy's voice, that rasp, that countryman, just powerful delivery, and he was singing about hockey. No one sings about hockey. This is before the Tragically Hip, long before the Tragically Hip.
Okay.
He was in a band called Red Rider.
I knew this.
This is Tom Cochran in Red
call.
Rider. Tom Cochran by himself.
Yeah.
From Lunatic Fringe, Napoleon Sheds His Skin, Boy Inside the Man.
Good one.
And of course,
Good
Big
one.
League, which is that song about a faithful trip of a hockey player. Yeah, he had me there. And then when he did a solo career, Mad Mad World is a perfect record. And he didn't get any notoriety technically for it because it came out the same time as Waking Up the Neighbors, his counterpart Bryan Adams. So there was this tete-a-tete going back and forth, both big time records. That album starts off with Life is a Highway and goes from Brave and Crazy to just a killer ending of All the King's Men. And when he sings, it's just, and he can't sing like that shout he has. That he does not have that anymore because it's sort of that might have gone beyond his years. Still, the delivery will always remain with me. So, Tom Cochran and Red Rider.
Great call.
Nice.
Lunatic Fringe is a great song, but Life as a Highway was ruined for me by Rascal Flatts.
Yes, preaching to the choir. Jeff Crichton.
All right, my number 1 record has been mentioned by my 2 blues brothers, and but Ray forgot to mention one of the names that was discarded by this band before they became Creedence Clearwater Revival. One of the discarded names was Crichton Clearwater Revival.
Oh.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, the first time I heard Fogerty's voice coming out of the radio, it was like something you'd never heard before. His guitar playing was just like raunchy, and from like the first record that was just really raw to they came a little just a tiny bit polished, but not too. But it was like one hit after another. From Proud Mary, they got bigger after Ike and Tina did it, all the way to Sweet Hitchhiker, which might have been, was probably their last hit. But everything in between, but like Ray said, the deep cuts, and who could deny their 12-minute version of I Heard It Through the Grapevine.
How about the social significance of the song Fortunate Son?
Yeah. Absolutely. And then it was miserable for Fogerty that after a 10-year absence, and he came back with Centerfield, and he waited till his second album after that, Eye of the Zombie, before he went out on the road. And
that second album is really good.
It is.
Yeah.
And he couldn't because of legal battles, he wasn't able to do any Creedence songs.
Right.
I know I'm dropping names tonight, but
Drop them.
It was an honor to work, Centerfield and Eye of the Zombie, those two records, and Fogerty was just a real gentleman. He loved talking Oakland A's baseball.
Man, no one loves doing that.
Well, back in 84 when Centerfield came out, Old Man Down the Road sounded like a CCR song, and Centerfield became a song that's still played in baseball stadiums around the world.
Every game.
But Crichton Clearwater Revival, man, is my number one band, and my number one in my C's.
1C. The big C.
C1.
C1.
Oh,
It's
well.
funny, I didn't make any C4 jokes. Okay.
Well,
you're number one.
Mr. Crichton's number 5 is Damn's number 1. So not going to have to say a lot about Ray Charles here, because everybody has spoken about him that has put him on their list. But my personal experience with him really didn't start until the early 2000s. And it wasn't because I watched the movie, but my son watched the movie. And when he watched Ray, he said, I need to get some music for my iPod or whatever. And I had to get him the 5 CD set to download the singles collection from 49 to 62. And the songs this kid was walking around my house singing was incredible, because where would you think some 12-year-old, 11-year-old was going to get into this music, right? Mm-hmm. So fast forward, shake a tail feather. He loved Nelly. But Georgia on my mind. And he was a great golfer, and his dream was to go to Augusta. And every time he heard that song, he was like, I know what Ray's talking about. I go, well, Ray's not talking about Augusta. But Chris was thinking about Augusta. So I had to put Ray Charles at the top of my list. Anytime I hear him, I think of my child. And it reminds me of, if you could be that Ray Charles from the South, that gospel, and blend into rock and roll and influence a 12-year-old that shaped his view on music and how wide ranged it was in his short life. That's somebody that you can't deny is a great C on my list. So I got
excellent.
Him.
Ray Charles was like the cleanup hitter for We Are the World. They load the bases with tons of talent, and then who are we going to have to bring it home and turn it into the ending as a Ray Charles song? Is Ray Charles. Just
Yeah.
amazing. My turn.
Mhm.
Number one.
Yep.
Phil Collins. So his solo career actually rivaled his career with Genesis, which is he's actually one of only 3 artists, including McCartney and Michael Jackson, to sell over 100 million records, both as a solo act and a principal member of a band.
Cool.
Phil Collins was just always everywhere you went on the radio, anywhere. Like the whole time I grew up from junior high, high school to college, like he just was always a part of my audio life. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and actually, obviously one of his most famous songs is "In the Air Tonight," which he actually offered to Genesis to perform as a Genesis song, but they allegedly rejected it because it was too simple. But
I'm not
yeah,
surprised.
so everything from ballads to pop hits, to soundtrack work to, getting an Academy Award for Tarzan,
Yeah.
and just a really a great artist with great range and great longevity.
I agree.
Yeah, just never get sick of hearing Phil Collins.
Yeah, I agree.
Alex.
All right. Chitty Bang is a rap artist that I used to listen to in college that sang a song called Ray Charles. I just found that ironic. My number one, since I'm going to shuffle Chitty Bang to honorable mention, Chumbawamba.
What?
It is not.
Real?
Oh,
That's a dishonorable mention.
His number one hit wonder.
Miley Cyrus is not going to be my number one.
Oh, the tease, the tease.
Cheap Trick is what I'm playing on all of you right now.
Her dad's your number one favorite.
My number one, City and Color, Dallas Green.
Not surprised.
One of the easiest listens I have in my repertoire. It's, for me, I think that one's just, you could be a classic rock fan. You can be a modern music fan. You can know Dallas Green's work in a more thrashy band such as Alexis on Fire. But they are one of the most soulful listens. I say they because I still can't call City and Color a solo act. That's my journalism brain kind of stewing a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's one of the most soulful, alternative, rockish acts that I would probably drop everything to go see them in a heartbeat should they come around the Western New York area. If you haven't heard them, I know for Steve, Ray, Jeff, give them a listen because I know the rest of the panel has at least heard them at one point. I'm not sure if you guys have, but
Yeah, I've heard a little bit. Yeah.
They are. Dallas does a phenomenal job.
If I should go before you, is probably one of the best records in the 2000s. From beginning to end, it is a blues record, but it is a different.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it in a long time.
Very heartfelt and dark and deep, and it's beautifully done.
I have to find, and I'll find the performance, and I'll send this in the email chain for this episode. But
who on this show are fans of the Tragically Hip? Dallas Green is a big part and fan of the Tragically Hip and Gordon.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
and he was the one-time manager of the Philadelphia Phillies and New York Yankees.
Yeah.
Ray.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, in the 60s, this fella played with a few bands and was always the main attraction. He was very shy of his vocals and he stuck to his playing. And the guy could play unlike most others in history. He was revered. He was referred to as God. For me, his 60s output was really good, but kind of grown a little bit tired of it aside from some of the real classics jam. His 70s output really grew, although he got a little more jingly jangly to refer to my friend Crichton than he was bluesy for a while, playing with different bands. But then by the mid 70s, he'd gone out on his own after the band wouldn't let him become a member. He put out numerous albums over the 70s and 80s, but truly it was his getting back to his roots on his 90s releases that really cemented his place for me as my second favorite guitar player ever and my number one C artist. Dude went through hell and back a couple of times. His battle with heroin was a real thing during his Derek and the Dominoes days and his first solo releases. Of course, there was the infatuation with George Harrison's wife, Patty, that,
Yep.
led to Layla and
Yep.
then his eventual marriage to her. And then came his battles with alcoholism in the 70s. His biography, which I believe is called Crossroads, that I have.
Yep.
Incredible. Read it. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Patrick Clapton, number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. He means a lot to me. Yeah. His story means a lot to me. Yeah, for sure.
He's a good one.
My number one is not Sheryl Crow. Sorry. Honestly, I never would have thought I'd pick this person, but I keep being reminded of how good she is. Whenever I see her perform live on TV. I think she can sing any song and kind of make it her own and not just like not a steal, but she somehow she just moves right into the music and um respects it, but just it's like you've heard it for the first time through her voice and vocals. Uh Kelly Clarkson.
I can get
You know,
behind that.
I think it was
Nice.
American Idol was 2002.
First one.
And
Very
I
first one.
honestly didn't think because you don't hear a lot from a lot of the winners.
Yep.
And she was, it was her and Justin, I can't remember his name, but she's got an incredible voice. And I think a lot of it has to do with just her maybe it's all an act, but she's humble and I think she just continues to learn and grow. And it shows. She's out there practicing singing and I just saw her, she was battling oh my gosh. Oh, who's the one from Wicked? Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Who also
Yeah.
has an incredible voice, but and it's just like I don't know. Every time I hear her, I'm like, how is
Yep.
she doing that? How is she still doing this? And she continues to get better, in my opinion. I think if she was with a band, like they would have been incredible.
Yeah, I agree.
It's hard, I think, when you're a solo artist sometimes because I don't know, or maybe not, but
Well, it's all about the production of the record rather than going on tour.
yeah.
They'll just put you
Yes.
with anybody. There was a thing on Twitter that said, it's happened. Kelly Clarkson has retired, so now you don't have to worry about her singing your song better than you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just announced she's leaving the talk show too.
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah.
She's going back on The Voice
Oh,
as
is
a
she?
judge.
She would
Oh, to
appear
be
on
a
The Voice,
judge.
but it's mostly leaving for her family.
After the Olympics, she and Levine are back on The Voice with Legend. The three of them are going to be back as judges.
And on that note, Steve Scott.
My number one is Creed. Said no
No
one
one.
in my house. Said not one soul in my house.
Thank God.
I'm with Alex and Ray on this. My number one was Derek and became Eric.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have absolutely loved Eric Clapton from the minute I heard him.
Amen.
Yep.
Fortunate enough to see him. There's nothing I could say that Ray didn't say better, and I can't say that often, but I'll say it now. Yeah, Eric Clapton with a bullet. His career, the bands he's with, what he's done, his voice, his music, it's irreplaceable in my catalog.
Yeah.
There's never a time when Eric Clapton comes on and it doesn't take me back to memories of college, of my first dance with my wife, to Wonderful Tonight. All of it. It's top to bottom. What that guy's gone through in his life and still persevered is legendary. So
Yeah.
Eric Clapton with a bullet.
Yeah, he's my inspiration for sure.
Sue, what's my number one?
Show Chumbawamba.
Somebody
Phil
we never
Collins.
heard of.
The Chipmunks.
Well, I was gonna say when it came to Jeff saying Phil Collins, it's no wonder you guys finally became good friends because
Finally.
Mark
Oh.
was Phil Collins.
He's going Johnny Cash.
He was Phil Collins for several years.
Belinda
now.
Carlisle.
Yeah, he
is that
was.
he's got?
He was.
Not Belinda Carlisle. I'll try again.
Daryl Crow.
The Cramps.
So yeah, I
Silhouette.
sang in a band for a bit. We covered In the Air Tonight. I started listening to Phil in Genesis. Solo record came out. That was just all. You kind of wonder how. I mean, because in Genesis he wasn't the chosen drummer at the start. So how did he come into this and make it happen? And you want to talk about sort of like Tom Brady and the idea of like your last pick at the backside of things, and here it becomes bigger than all the rest of them, right? And there was not a songwriter, obviously trouble with vices, etc., and making bad choices, but he didn't make a bad choice when it came to deciding, well, you know what, I'll go on Miami Vice. Why not? I'll play a character on there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's not in the Hall of Fame for his solo career yet, right?
I didn't even look. I assume he probably is.
I don't think he is.
He's not.
I don't think he is.
That's crazy for me. And songwriting wise, he controlled the '80s. Period. There's nobody bigger. Nobody. Right. Not even close. Right. It's like Creed in the 2000s. There's no one sold more records than Creed. Yeah. All right. Honorable mentions. Rip them up real quick. Or if somebody already mentioned it, just avoid it like the plague.
I'm just going to say Cranberries and Cardigans.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Good.
Ooh, yeah, I had Cranberry.
Deb, have any honorable?
I have Coldplay. I like Coldplay. And Clapton is not an honorable mention. He is really my number one, but he's emotional for me. So, and I knew other people would pick him. So
yeah,
He's
all right. I got kicked off. I came back.
There you go.
Oh.
Rip him
so 10 minutes for all your honorable mentions.
He ran out of words.
I'll do it fast. I'll do it in record time here.
Oh my God!
Here we go.
Your
Clapton, the
best
Clash.
auction voice.
Clapton's been mentioned. The Clash has been mentioned. The Cars have been mentioned. Who else has been mentioned? Cheap Trick's been mentioned. So I'm going to go with two jazz stalwarts, giants in their field, John Coltrane and Chick Corea. Okay, there's two. The Irish folk band, the Chieftains. Elvis Costello. Canned Heat, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yes.
My favorite Aussie band, the Church. One of the great first slide guitar players who's made some really interesting records over a 55 plus career, and he almost became a member of the Rolling Stones. Ry Cooder. How about Joe Cocker? Nobody's mentioned him today.
Oh, God, yeah.
How about the great songstress, Judy Collins?
No.
Yeah.
How about the great jingly jangly artist I worked with, Marshall Crenshaw? How about for you my blues brothers, James Cotton and Arthur Big Boy Crudup? Okay, and two local people from Buffalo, the great Peter Case.
Okay.
Okay.
And from Rochester, the Chesterfield Kings.
Oh, I know them.
who
Yeah,
make
yeah.
great
I
records.
don't know.
From the
Fine.
outside world, from Crichton's world, you have Cotton Mather, who made a great record called Kentucky, which is like a fantastic record.
Now time for a commercial break.
Okay, I got two more from Scotland. The
Volume 2.
Cosmic Rough Riders, who made three great records, and then they almost made my top five, but they were the band that gave the Beatles a run for the money from '64 to '66. Okay, and almost did it, but they did not. But how can you not mention the Dave Clark Five?
Yeah.
Whatever you want to. Yep.
I got a few.
Go ahead.
You didn't have Coolio on your list?
How about
Coolio?
Patsy? How about Patsy
LL Cool
Cline?
J?
Patsy Cline.
Cline.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. You already beat me to it.
And
All
this
right.
one, I cannot believe this
Patsy.
was in nobody's thing. Chris
What?
Cornell.
Oh.
Nobody mentioned Chris Cornell.
No.
No, but you know what?
Solo
I,
career, I
said,
would.
Solo artist? No.
I said Audio Slave in the A's in my top
Okay.
five.
Okay, got it.
I do like his covers.
So do I.
There was one record, the one where is it Carry On maybe? The blue. That record from start to finish was really good, but there's been like hits and misses, but when he's with Soundgarden, I mean, and he's with those are all huge.
Nobody
Soundgarden-
mentioned the Irish band The Corrs.
Mm.
Nobody mentioned Collective Soul.
Oh no.
Thought about that one. That was in my honorables.
Ray, you and I saw this guy and we loved him. Gary Clark Jr.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
No.
know if he was a C or a J. No,
You know what?
I get so confused with Mark's
Doesn't
rules.
count, Deb. I just omitted that, but if I had the chance to see him, I would go do it.
Oh, yeah.
So I some
And I
along,
keep missing when he's
on the
around.
vocalist line, we talk about Ray Charles and his influence on soul, but the other guy that influenced so many, including Otis Redding and Rod Stewart, was the great Sam Cooke.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought
Also
that's
had
who
Patsy
you were
in there,
gonna.
which Patsy Cline, which Steve just mentioned,
Yep.
was the other one. Also, my band that Jeff didn't want to admit that he listens to pretty regularly, the Captain and Tennille. Of course, you got Counting Crows, Harry Chapin.
So
Yeah.
while everyone's kicking off with their silly ones that they mentioned for no reason whatsoever, you make one album, you don't get on this list. That's insane.
Christopher.
All right.
Yeah.
Christopher Cross.
You guys want to talk about three? I'm going to give you three honorable mentions because they do need to be honorable mentions. They're honorable because you love Chicago. Well, you love your horns. This band controls that right now, and they're one of the best in the North America. And they are a southern desert alt jazz country oddity that uses the horn section, give it that dusty, bewildering. And this is the band that knocked Jerry Cantrell further back. This is Calexico. If you don't know who they are, look them up. This is the new Chicago, not in Chicago, but in the desert.
Look it up.
Ridiculously good band. And despite this man's huge, distinctive baritone vocal, this band has managed to deliver some of the most unique records of all time, and not in the same genre, not in the same mentality, not in the same delivery of they could do folk, they could do country, and I mean dusty outlaw country, and then they could do an electric pop record. It's the Crash Test Dummies.
Ooh.
Don't know their whole
That's a
catalog.
good one.
I didn't
Take a
think of
look at
that.
that because The Ghosts That Haunt Me is a ridiculously good debut record.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But there's
thought about
deeper
that.
stuff going further with them, for sure.
Mhm.
And then the man who loved Bach, Chopin.
I knew you. And that didn't one of you
Because
guys say?
There's a
it was
lot to Chopin that many people don't know. But the fact matters right now, it seems that he is one of the uses of crossover in music, getting people to love classical and appreciate it more. I reviewed a record the other day that was a pianist from Japan. He's one of the best in the world, and he did Chopin, but he did it the way he wanted to do it, and his homage to it, and it's bewildering and fantastic. And I really believe, I mean, he's got 2 million followers on either TikTok or whatever it is. 2 million as a classical pianist. That's crazy.
Good. Good for him.
Wow.
That's the influence of Chopin. We're on the web at beyondyourradio.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, of course. Articles, videos, and podcasts all about albums, bands, artists, anything we can get our hands on. Go Beyond Your Radio with us, a real music appreciation channel. And in 2 weeks, we'll take it to D. Thanks for watching and staying up this late. I know. This went longer than a football game. Thanks for watching. Happy listening.
Bye.